What's up, YouTube? How are you doing? What a day, what a day. I always love the start of the week. Usually at the beginning of the week, we do get a bit of volatility. And it's good to see that, again, this week we have a solid move towards the upside and the downside. So, yeah, pretty good Monday, pretty good Tuesday as well. Now, how are you doing, everyone? Good to have you here. So we're going to be online till 4 p.m. So we can be here at 2:30 p.m., 3:30 p.m. when the market opens as well. Because usually 2:30 p.m. and 3:30 p.m. is quite volatile, or at least that's a period where stuff can happen. So it's interesting to be like online right around this hour. So yeah, very nice. Let's see what we get. But how you doing, everyone? Welcome. Good to have you here. Flotty, what's up? How you doing? Flotty, in the mountains, eh? Right. What's the weather doing? Is it nice and green? Doing some morning hikes or weekend hikes in, what was it? Switzerland? Austria? Austria, I think, right? Austria, I believe. No, maybe a Band-Aid morning. World of Crypto, how you doing? Rob, good afternoon, good morning. Good morning, indeed. Yeah, when I say it to you. Blood day today. Yeah, it's been a solid move to the downside. And of course, we're going to analyze this as I have two scenarios here, local bull and local bear. So we're going to cover these two. That's important with the local price action, as we are pretty much at the final area of support before taking the lows, pretty much. So what's up, Mark? How you doing? Raccoons with the popcorn emote, of course. Peter, Bettina, welcome. Red Bull, what's up? How you doing? My Smetterling, oh boy. Austin, what's up? Austin Davis, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Married with backpacks. A good afternoon. Shame it's already 8:34 p.m. in my country. Okay, Asian side. Yeah, it's not easy if you're living in Asia to trade New York, London. So I for example, I know a trader living in New Zealand or Australia. And it's quite tough. John. People here will know John, but also Liquid Mafia. Yeah? So it's not easy. Saraga, how you doing? Might go to sleep soon. 8:34 p.m. Oh, that's an early night, no? But thanks, Red Bull, for popping in. Yo. Abiyit Sinaroy, how you doing? Yongyun from Korea, very nice. Been there twice. How you doing? Welcome from the other side of the world. Christian, what's up? Nuf chat, get the charts, lol. Nuf chat, get out, lol. Stefano Campugiani, how are you doing? Welcome. I live in the Philippines. Most are doing well. Yeah. What's up, Fritz Weber? How are you doing? As the doorbell goes, which my wife is getting, so lucky me. But in this live stream, what we're going to do is, of course, cover Elliott Waves. I think I'll start on the 1 hour. Then we'll talk about the local price action, 15-minute time frame, and we might possibly go to the 4-hour weekly time frame because I do have some new ideas, but we didn't take the low yet. You know what I mean? So I'm still. I can just share some stuff. I actually didn't yet put them in my folders, but I've been looking at the chart, so I don't yet have it in my folders. But I might be able to do that during the live stream. We'll see. But yo, Maarten, hallo, goedemiddag. Goed dat je erbij bent. Christian, good afternoon from Tirol, party place, yo. Bilyamin, how you doing? Nigeria, you guys are from everywhere. Italian, jeez. Mr. Friends, what's up, man? Mr. Friends, such a legend with all the AI stuff. He's so good with everything around AGGR, the AGR platform, AI, personalizing things. Incredible. Oh, by the way, as always, almost like a mandatory check, but just to make sure, because age, we're on a public platform, YouTube, it's 0.0. It's a non-alcoholic beverage, which I enjoy. So the final area of support is the value area low and the point of control on my chart, and that is where we are at the moment. So I'm going to close this folder, and we're going to talk about the 1 hour first, 15-minute second, and then we might go to the 4-hour weekly stuff. Yeah. Oh, pleasure, Mr. Friends. I mean, I should say thank you for sharing like your insane work. I love data, man. I love seeing you collecting all that stuff. It's incredible. Driftholics, how you doing? Life's already started. Yeah, not much today just yet, but we might. Okay, let's start, shall we? So the first couple of minutes will be quite similar to the morning video, but of course America was asleep, so that's a little bit of a repetition maybe for the Europeans and the Asians, but then we go into some new stuff here locally due to some folders here. So the bearish scenario that I have on my chart is a zigzag. We have a wave A to the downside, looking for a B to finish or potentially finished, and then we want to see a wave C towards the downside. That is what we're aiming for here. So we then have our zigzag wave A, B, C, 5, 3, a 5-wave structure. Now this wave A can be counted as an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where wave 4 is a WXY, but as Bettina showed in Discord, you could also count this as a potential diagonal in a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a wave 5. But it gives the same result, meaning the low of your A is here in this case. So what we're then looking for is a wave B. Common target for B, 05886. From the low to the high of A, it's a big area, but that is why we always like to make sure that we have some specific target areas and target boxes. We currently hit the value area high of this volume profile, right? Volume profile of this lower section on the chart, value area high provided resistance here in this particular area. Very nice indeed. Typical range trading stuff as well. The value area lows and highs are always good to have on your chart. Of course, the golden pocket is very famous as well for its resistance, and around that golden pocket we also have this blue box here, 65.2, 65.8. So there's a bit of additional resistance. Now, as you can see, we hit this box. We hit the common target area for a wave B with a zigzag structure to the upside. Now this zigzag structure here is, however, incredibly short in time. Very, very short in time. Most commonly, right, by far most commonly, if we look for an A, B, C to the downside or a wave 1, 2, 3, because the structure is pretty similar, we actually want a wave B or a wave 2 to finish after the 0.382 fib time taken from the high to the low of this wave A. Comparing wave A with wave B. But the 382 is on the 2nd of May, 3 a.m. in the morning. In other words, preferably this wave B is finishing after the 1st of May. So somewhere on the 2nd of May or even later. Now over here you can see we didn't even get close, anywhere close to 382, which is uncommon. It's not an invalidation, right? It's just that probability-wise it would make sense to end after the 382, as that is what happens by far most commonly. But it's not an invalidation. You have such a short zigzag and you would continue for a wave C to the downside, right? But it's all probabilities. Now currently this high here is, what shall it be? 0.1? Not even. It's so short. It's so short in time. It's quite insane. So from a probabilities perspective, it would be nice to see this range continue for a little bit longer, get a bounce towards the upside and finish after the 382 before you get your move down, right? From an Elliott Wave perspective, time perspective, it would be the nicest scenario, which is then reflected in this ABC, right? So we have, let me actually change the color here because I can imagine it's a bit confusing. So we do in white. So there you go. So inside the wave B, a scenario where you are allowed to take the low of wave A and still be in a corrective structure is a flat. Zigzag in A, zigzag in B, then you look for a 5-wave impulse C to take the high of A. Now usually a wave C is quite quick. If you do get a wave C, it tends to be quite a sharp move to the upside. And this wave C, if this would be the low candle of B, right? We don't yet know, but if this is the low, you take a fib time from the start of white A to the end of your B and you double click. You toggle on the 2 fib time and your wave C is not allowed to end after the 2 fib time, right? It's not a hard rule, but guideline wise, any wave C going after, like still moving up after the 2-fib time, low probability you have a wave C. At least it's after the 302, so that is something. Now, if price does move up in a wave C and it does so quicker, right, and we're going to be ending before the 302, then in the future, so I might already think ahead, this flat might be a wave W. You look for an X and then a Y and then a move towards the downside. Now, it's way too early, but this is how things are changing, right? So if we move towards the upside, then the bearish scenario is going to be, we go down in C. The arguably more bullish scenario will then be a WXY, continuation of the range, and then go down later in this particular wave A, B, C scenario. So time-wise, it would make sense to continue this range for a little bit longer. We are currently at the most common target area for a wave B in a expanding flat, which also is the most common flat pattern of the 3 flats that we have. In this case, we have the A, B, C. We want to see wave C move above A. Target area B on the chart. Regular flat, A, B, C, more of a ranging structure. And then we have the running flat, right? A, B, C, where wave C doesn't take the high of wave A. Very rare. Never preferred unless all of the other stuff fails. And an expanding flat is your most common flat. Target area for your wave B, as you can see, 61K, 60.6K, right? That is where we are at the moment, which is in confluence with the support I had at the beginning of the live stream here, the point of control and value area low of this structure over here, which pretty much is the final area of support, right? Losing this, flipping this into resistance, and the lows start to get very close, no? So that is the, I suppose, bullish scenario. You want to see an impulsive structure to the upside. Now, what then helps, right, is to hit the 618. Let me explain this in a little bit more detail, because I have a little bit of clutter on my chart. I did this earlier this morning, so of course price has changed a little bit. Let me move this back into blue and also make this back blue. So there we go. Okay, organizing my chart nicely. I do like clean charts. Okay, so the bullish scenario is a 3-wave structure ABC down, because inside your wave B, where is it? Inside wave B in a flat, expanding flat, you need a 3-waver, right? You can't have a 5-wave structure. It needs to be a 3-wave structure. Now, because we're already at the target area for B, you already want pretty much a 3-wave structure to end, which is only pretty much possible by having a wave A, B, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave structure to end here. So that is what you then see in this particular count. That is your yellow A, B, C, right? Where wave C is then your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, to get a bit more confidence in price moving to the upside, the 618 plays a very important role. So we could potentially put 3 and 4 here, and then we look for a low, of course, in a wave 5, potentially in or yet to be made, right? That's the question, doesn't really matter. At the moment, the 618 here is important. And you'll see why as well with the more bearish scenario, which is an impulse down. In a wave A, B, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, preferably 4 finished or working on 4 and then 1 more drop, but preferably finished actually. You want price to move towards the upside and hit the 618. 618 is taken from the high of B to the current low. Hitting this 618, probabilities increase to move to the upside to take the high of A. In other words, the probabilities increase for the flat, right? Now, why is that 618 so important? It's because of the bearish scenario. Here we have a 1, 2, 1, 2. So it's not an A, B, and then a C. This is the impulse. 1, 2, 1, 2, right? And we look for a 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, or 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. But you look for a second wave 4. And the blue wave 4 is invalidated if you hit the 618. That is taken from the high of 2 to the low of 3. Now, if this is the low for 3, as an example here, then we put the 618 on the chart, and that 618 is at price-wise 62.7K. So that is your wave 4 invalidation at the moment. That is a level you don't want to hit if you're bearish, right? If you're bullish, you want to hit it because probabilities increase to take the high. So this is like the more safe option. Now, the moment price here is going to range for a little bit longer, right? Quite similar to what we see here, and then make another low, this 618 will lose its significance, because then we have potentially a finished impulse, wave 3, then you have your 4, and then you have your 5. Which means that if price would now move to the upside, it can also be a wave 2 for then a 3 down. So the probabilities do not increase anymore to take the high. So in other words, preferably, you're going to move up to the 618 without ranging here for too long and then make another low, right? So that is something we're going to keep an eye on. It might take longer than the time that we're live, of course, but this is how probabilities switch depending on price action coming in. Right? So that's an important one, definitely one to keep an eye on. Now your bullish scenario is starting to be quite problematic because especially now that we also took the low over here. Nonetheless, we are going to cover this. And we have to rethink this structure, but we'll do that live on stream as well. Okay, so in your bullish scenario, let me actually remove this stuff here because now it's distracting because it doesn't really work. So in your bullish scenario, you have your wave 1, 2, and you want to see continuation to the upside, right? Common target for 2 is the green box, 0.618786 from the low to the high of 1, 62.5K, 61.2K. You don't want to hit the 886, very rare target for a wave 2 at 60.4K. Hitting that 886 and the probabilities drop even further as they keep dropping actually because price took this low. So the probabilities already dropped for this impulsive structure because now we have to put this 2 here because a wave 2 has to be the low of this move. That was the wrong button. You can't have your wave 2 here and then count 1, 2, it's not allowed. Wave 2 can't go below the origin of wave 1. So in other words, we have to finish a corrective structure here, which starts to be a bit of a challenge at the moment, right? So now the only way would be to have a, let me think here, W, X, Y, A, B, C. Yeah, so that would be your structure now. So that's just your W, that's your X, and now your wave Y is here. And then instead of wave Y being a zigzag, your wave Y now is a flat. So previously, if wave Y ended here, you would end with a zigzag, but now it's a flat. So in your bullish scenario, you then have your zigzag down in your W, complex X, W, X, Y. W is a flat, X complex, Y is a zigzag, and then we have another flat in wave Y, wave A, wave B, wave C. Invalidation is very clear, and we don't want to hit that 886. That's very, very important indeed. Really reduces probabilities if you hit that 886. So for this wave Y to end, we do look at an impulse to the downside. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we want to see price move back up impulsively to take the high over here. Of course, because we want to see continuation to the upside in a wave 3. Okay. Now, this is now irrelevant. Oh, wait. Let me organize my folders. Put this in the folder here. Now, this was explained earlier this morning, was it? I think. I went over this here. Of course, the probabilities this morning were shared, that the probabilities were higher to take these lows, as over here, the probabilities were higher to have a three-way structure instead of an impulsive structure. And we had a potential WXY or ABC. Now, because price took the low, ABC has the highest probability compared to a WXY. But just for the sake of education, I suppose, the reason why the probabilities were higher for corrective structures and longer corrective structure is because over here it's actually very difficult to count an impulsive structure, as explained in the morning update when we didn't yet have the move down. Is if this is the low and you move up, there's only 3 structures that you have to look for: an impulse, a diagonal, or a double 1-2. If you cannot have high probabilities for any of these 3, you're likely looking at a corrective structure increasing probabilities to take the low. Impulse to the upside didn't work because of the overlap. Impulse should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Overlap between the high and the low for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 not allowed, and also wave 4 went too deep. impulse gone. Then we have a diagonal. For a diagonal, we needed this, right? For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But as explained, it's way too early to talk diagonals. We only have a wave 1. I only like to talk about diagonals once you have a wave 4. And this is only 1. So we needed a 3, 4, and a 5. 1, 2, 3, and then 4 before I really want to start talking about diagonals. And then you had the double 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, impulsive move to the upside in a wave 3. However, your second wave 1 is longer in price and time compared to your first wave 1, which lowers probabilities for a double 1, 2. So therefore, probabilities were higher. This is a 3-wave structure in an ABC, which therefore increased probabilities to look for a W, X, and then a Y, or the A, B, C, which I now have remaining because, price took the low here. So that is how the, probabilities were impacted thanks to the move to the downside this morning when I woke up. When I woke up, price was ranging over here, and it pretty much confirmed a 3-wave structure up. So yeah, and that's basically that. So probability-wise, not too much has changed. So over here on the 1-hour chart, which is actually maybe even 4-hour now, but when we look at this range, the whole structure, probabilities at the moment are higher for the ABC to the downside, right? To take these lows sooner or later, but still remain in a weekly uptrend. On number 2, we then have that bullish scenario where your low is in and you're going to be looking for price to move towards the upside. And in the third spot, probability-wise, we have the bearish scenario where I didn't explain this, but I can still do this at in a second. Is you have a 1, 2, 1, 2, another 1, 2, and eventually you just move down in a very big wave 3, where you might see prices you thought you'd never see anymore. So that is on the third spot. On the 15-minute, probabilities were higher for the WXY or the flat. Right, that's why they both were on wave or on position 1. Move to the downside, increasing volume here as well, right? And then we took the low, so pretty much the flat is the one that I am then looking for in this case as the WXY. It's not invalidated. Wave X can end below wave W. It's just less common than a flat. So naturally, you're first looking at a flat and then a WXY. And then on the number 2 spot, we have this being the end of your wave B in blue. And that is just because of time. So that's currently on the number 2 spot just because of time, just because this move to the upside is so short in time. It has lower probabilities compared to a wave B that is still going to range for a little bit longer, take some more time, maybe another move to the upside in the flat scenario, right? That has a higher probability just because of time. Now, the fact that this zigzag up is so short is not an invalidation. It's just that it's so short compared to A, the probabilities generally would be on the lower side compared to wave B still ongoing. Now, currently, locally, right, we are at a little bit of support here. So, no problem wicking these lows, but we are at the final edges of support. So if we want to get that impulse to the upside, remember the 0.618, because once that 0.618 is hit, it increases probabilities to move to the upside as an impulse is invalidated. However, only if you don't range here for too long and then get another low. So 62.6 is important, 62.7 I should say. And more locally here, if we see some proof of support, some CVD divergences, maybe some volume coming in, market structure, right? Some other tools or things you're looking for that could be interesting for an earlier potential entry towards the upside instead of waiting for the 618. So yeah, now we wait and see, right? We wait and see. Looking at the volume, volume of course still relatively high, but we do have some volume decreasing as price moved to the downside here. We had the quickest move, and then you start ranging again, and this is very typical for also impulsive structures, but in this case a potential ABC. But for an impulse, you want to see 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You get your 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, right? So your 1, 2s are like a range, and your 4, 5s are like a range as well. So over here, we could have a potential structure ending because of the structure we see. Quick move down, and then we start to go not sideways, right? If we go sideways a bit longer and start climbing a bit as well, that would be more positive. But at least the speed of this morning is reduced a little bit, at least for now. No? So let's see what New York does if it opens as well in 30 minutes. So yeah, Bettina, already part of gold and still again upgraded to gold. Maybe your membership came to an end and you remembered. No pun intended. But Bettina, welcome back to gold, or actually welcome to still being gold, I suppose, as well. Cheers, Bettina. Something got mixed up. I see. All good. Bettina, the one with the diagonal scenario shared in Discord. And yeah, it's a nice one. So cheers, Bettina. Top step. Yo, Liquid Mafia. Oh, I got to talk about Liquid Mafia as well, because I want to share one of his charts. Which is interesting. But first, let me write that like the core analysis is finished. We're still going to talk Elliott Waves though, but at least let me analysis at, when did we start? Like 10 minutes or something in, I believe. So I think around 10 minutes or something we started. What's up, Casper? How you doing? Wait. Where's my message? If I pin this, is my message in? Yo. Nice. I'm ghosting myself. Yo, B Channel, Samuel, Time Alone, what's up everyone? Casper, how you doing? Liquid Mafia. Okay, let's go to the chart of Liquid Mafia, by the way. So in Discord, he shared the following. So Bitcoin up. Oh, GZ also posted. GZ is also great. So I have two things to check. Cheers, by the way, Crypto Ser. My bull run rings still have room to go lower. I'll check that one second. I first want to check the other one. Yo, okay. Liquid Mafia has been active. So Liquid Mafia has a analysis style where he is using Fibonacci rings, I believe it is. And it's always interesting to sometimes see a chart of Liquid Mafia casually posting his bangers in Discord. So as you can see, this is a very complex type of analysis where I have no idea how he uses the rings and whatever, but he makes it work. And if you go through his posts in Discord and you go down, how many pages? 59 pages of Liquid Mafia content in Discord, you will see that he's very good with his rings. So what he said here is, it's been a while, right? But it's a critical pose because we broke through the last ring of support in the last 12 hours. We retested it. If I'm correct, we have potentially an epic move to the downside, which does fit with the Elliott Wave scenario of looking for a move to the downside as well. In this case, I guess preferably would be that your high is in potentially, or you retest the same ring again, right? You have that big ring and then you retest it again a little bit higher. But of course, as long as we don't really see any proof of support locally, we're just dropping, no? So this is the blue ring here, as you can see. Also, we got that green ring, by the way, acting as resistance. So that is an interesting one. Now then we have. I expect a bounce at 61.2, 59.4, but since we retested my ring, it could just be a hot knife through butter. Okay, well, that's good. My bull run rings still have room to go lower. Let's have a look here. 58.9, 36.8. Interesting. 36.8 as a bull run ring, which would fit one of the scenarios that I have in mind. I will, I probably have to explain it now. It's only a scenario I thought of. When did I think of it? I think at the end of last week during the weekend is when I don't know what happens when I'm outside, but I was going for a run, and it's not the first time when I'm thinking about the chart, and I'm running and I'm analyzing in my head, and I had another scenario that came to mind, so which could have a target of 36 below 40. Yeah, but okay, 58.9 and 36.8. There you go. That's good to know. Nice. Always gotta love Liquids Mafia's his post here. Fib rings. It's a drawing tool in a trading view. Very complex. Like anything really, it just takes practice, right? But yeah, very nice. So let me have a quick look at the chat. Where were we? Fritz Weber, how you doing? Hi, thanks for coming online for the plebs. No worries, man. No one's a pleb. We're all in the market for the same goals, and everyone is in their own phase. Whatever step you are out of the 6 steps that I always talk about to become a consistently profitable trader. Doesn't matter if you're in step 1 or step 6. You're gonna get there. Dominic Frey, this is where we were. What's up? How you doing, Dominic? Really wanted the golden pocket for a short, but never got it, so just stayed off the charts yesterday. And that's also the way to go. One doesn't have to trade every move, right? I actually still have to post this in Discord, but I had a long to the upside here, right? So actually, by the way, during the live stream, I entered the long. And I had this move to the upside. I did say in the setups or in the diamond channel that we started to range here. So I was looking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I had the idea that we could get a retracement to the downside. We hit the 382 from the low to the high. More common target for a wave B, by the way. So if you take a fib from the low to the high here, drag it to the right. Put this on, then the 382 was hit. More common for a B, a little less common for a 2. And then price moved up, came down, invalidating a wave 4. And this is where I woke up here. So this is then where I took my take profit, as I realized that the impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5 is invalidated because 4 is too deep. So that is why I took a big chunk off, and also probability started to switch with the morning analysis, and the rest was stopped out on break even. So for a short, we may not get price to the upside, but it doesn't matter. There's always another opportunity, we just got to remain very patient. There might be an opportunity around the corner if we actually get some proof of support at the lows, like some bit of a movement to the upside, maybe hitting the 618. I'm also not in a short. This was overnight for me. And I don't set limit orders. I'm a market order type of guy. I don't like it. It's not relaxed to me, I suppose, if I set limit orders and cannot observe what happens if price hits the limit order. I prefer to be there. So sometimes you may miss something, but it doesn't matter. So all good. Not bad. So we'll see. We'll see if we ever get the move back up, and if not, we're gonna look to the downside. So at least we have a little bit of a ranging structure here, grinding to the downside, and volume is still pretty high though. Still pretty high volume. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Wouldn't. What day is it? Tuesday. Tomorrow is the news. At least I think today there's some news as well, but tomorrow we have this going on. Well, So yeah, let's see. Might be interest here, but yeah, just gotta wait. But yeah, price moves, but we don't have to catch every move. We don't have to catch every move. Some ugly monthly candle. Was about time after 8 green candles or something I heard. Yeah, it's good to have a bit of red though. It's a beautiful color. You know, green is nice, but you definitely need red in a bull market as well. I don't like wave 1 like impulse or diagonal in the bullish scenario. Oh, this. No, it's better as a 3 waver. But I just put wave 1 here as that's the bullish scenario. You're going to be looking for an ABC or then a WXY for maybe a bigger diagonal. But yeah, at the moment it doesn't have higher probabilities compared to the bearish scenarios. Yeah. Cheers, Red Bull, Liquid Mafia. Welcome, man. Up. We were. Yeah, it's okay. If people can see the pinned comment, I can see my pinned comment. I just didn't see my message, which is quite interesting. Hasta la vista, Barbie. How are you doing? Welcome. If you put enough rings on the chart, they will definitely work. But that's with everything. But luckily, Liquid Mafia has gained the skill of being very good with his rings, because you can put Fibonacci's everywhere. I can put my Elliott Waves everywhere. I can put my trend lines everywhere. I can use my whatever, fill in the dots everywhere, and eventually it will work. It's with all TA, but it's the experience, the data, that is what makes you efficient with the particular tool, right? So he has gained the skill of using the Fib rings for so long, being able to use them correctly for a very long period, that yeah, it's a very interesting way of analysis, and it's just very nice. Of course, it doesn't have 100% like a win rate, but it's still some interesting confluence that he's willing to share some of his thoughts. I do start to believe the bull market has end. I actually have an interesting question. So we went up from 15K to 74K. So because of course what Dimjack says, I hear it more, not necessarily. Yeah. So you hear it, read it. You went up from 15K to 74K in about 1 year and a couple of months. And you're going sideways between 60 and 74, and people talk about the bull market is over. We're still at 61, and even if you drop into the lower 50s, you're still in a bull market. And I will be able to share you a scenario where you're even going to drop in the 40s and still be in a bull market. So for me to switch it takes time. At the moment, like with the information we have from an Elliott Wave point of view, there's no reason to think the bull market has ended. It has the lowest probabilities on a weekly time frame. So first, you need to lose some significant levels before these probabilities are going to switch, and we're really going to talk about a bear market again. So like actually really going down to below 15, because that is then what we're looking for from an Elliott Wave point of view. Deep retracements in bull markets, right, 50, 60, 70% is absolutely normal. Go to the previous bull markets and you'll see these as well. So it's just interesting. You can see that when you have a bigger range, and there is the probabilities of moving into the 50s as well, and it plays on the minds, which is a beautiful thing to see as well, I suppose. So and of course I see it online and stuff as well. Yeah. And even if the bull market is over, we can't yet trade like it is over. Of course, we can have local shorts, and we can try and get these shorts into swing positions, making swing shorts. But you never know how far price goes. It depends on the waves again. So sometimes you might get an absolute banger, and maybe it turns around at 60 and goes back up. But that's where probabilities come in. GVXM, how are you doing? Welcome. Good to have you here. Cheers, Mark. So where to for BTC and alts from here? Alts is the first Sunday of the month, which is this Sunday, by the way. And Bitcoin, the analysis and the probabilities have also just been communicated here. So on a 1 hour chart, probabilities are higher for a zigzag down to take the lows. However, on the 50 minutes, or in other words, more local, it would be, and actually also 1 hour. So pretty much, maybe I should say 4 hour chart, it's better to have the zigzag down. That's the highest probability scenario at the moment to take these lows. But on a 1 hour more locally, it would be better for price to move up for B or continue the range here before dropping, because this move up here is so short in time for wave B to end there. Way before the 0.382 fib time, which is very rare. It's not an invalidation, it's just uncommon. Fib, yeah, say maybe a band-aid, but that is why I always like Liquid Mafia explaining some stuff. Much liquidity on the 63K, somewhere here. Yeah, and of course you have a bit of a gap here as well. So it's going to be quite interesting, by the way, that if you test this gap, let me see. So this is the low of the gap. Oh, wait, no, I need a high. Yeah, okay, so there we go. Let me go to the 2 hour. No, this is, yeah. So you can test the lower end of the gap, 62.1K, probably get some sort of reaction. But if you start to close candles inside the gap, it increases probabilities to move to the higher end of the gap, which therefore increases probabilities to move to the high. So that's quite an interesting thing to look for as well. That if we start closing candles in there, like 1 hour, probabilities start to change. Or not really change, but it just adds probabilities. 62755 would liquidate 49 million in shorts. Using liquidations is also a handy tool. So Ethereum, Sunday is going to be the altcoin stream. So make sure to be there. As an Sunday fun day, exactly. Erdem yield this. As an inexperienced trader, this choppy sideways movement is extremely difficult to navigate. But I try to appreciate the experience. Appreciate the experience, eh? That's the only thing you can do. It's not easy. It's complex price action, right? It's difficult. It's sideways, especially if you're into Elliott waves. Corrections are a lot more difficult than impulses to identify. That's also why it oftentimes helps to zoom out instead of zooming in with Elliott waves. But if it's very difficult to navigate, don't trade it, but at least try to count it. Or if you watch videos online from Elliott wave analysts, copy the count on the chart and then ask yourself, okay, why did he do this? Why that? And is this correct or is this faulty? You check the rules again. Yeah, hopefully you can then use this range to, like you say, appreciate the experience, but also get more experience and more knowledge. Because ranges can be very difficult, but they do give you the best opportunities. Once price starts running, the general tip that I always give is, once you get a bigger impulse, just wait for a range. Because you have no idea what's going on until a range actually starts. Till late August, that's still a couple of months. We get rate cuts September. Till August. That would only be possible in the 4 hour WXY. Might have to put some stuff on my chart again. So I can explain the higher time frame. What's up, Jeremy? How are you doing? Good to have you here. Vitalian, what's up? Welcome. Welcome. Good to see you as well yesterday, right? In the chat of X4s. Head and shoulders now, if that's what you look for. I'm not really a pattern trader, but I do know what you mean with the head and shoulders. Also from an Elliott wave point of view. This correction was only like 90%, where previous correction in the last year was 20-22%. It looks like the correction wants to bore people, catch them off guard. Also, but when you talk about corrections, let me clean this up. Now, of course, we had a potentially bit of an extreme case, but 70% here. Let's see, we had a 20% drop here as well. price moved up. These are 15%. It's one candle, but this is one candle with a 15% drop, you know. Then we have this here, 30% drop. Another 25% drop. Another, like what, even more actually, more than 16. Was this 17% drop before you eventually move back down for a 50%. So, and then you move up again, and then here you move up and you drop another 25%. And it's the same in bear markets. You can do the same. Oh, here we have a move up, 50%, 45% bounce here to the upside, right? From the low of this wick, also here 22% to the upside. We had another little retracement here, right? Also almost 30%. Another one here, 40% bounce. Oh, it's absolutely normal. Absolutely normal. But now that we're on the higher time frame, I might as well just share some of my thoughts on this time frame. Also, the thing is, so I'm not emotional at all. I just follow the probabilities. I don't have a feeling with Bitcoin. I don't really care about a bull market or a bear market. Or price being at 100K or 10K. I just trade whatever I get. You know, as a trader, I suppose. Anyone have a good place to find liquidation heat maps? Anyone can answer Jeremy. Make sure to tag him in the chat here and post your, not link, but the name of the website, because the links will be removed by YouTube. Yeah. My worry, just like bottom, is everyone assumes up only from here, just like down only at the lows. Yeah, you might be late, but not wrong. It depends on how people manage their stuff. So when we were here, there were really big bullish CVD divergences. And when price was here, there was still the potential for a 3-wave flat. Once we got this, probability switched towards the upside. So this was an area for entries or potentially lower. We also had bullish CVD divergences here, by the way, building up. So that was then the potential. And so I'm a guy, I won't be able to, or usually I don't snipe highs or lows, even though I did have a long here because it very much matched my day trading strat with all the CVD divergences going on there as well and some other stuff. And here as well, right? So, but from an Elliott Wave point of view, more upside got clear once we were here, and then we started dropping. That was opportunity, and of course the potential for a finished structure here because of the incredible amount of bullish CVD that we had here, which was quite insane. So yeah, you start thinking about it like, could it be? But you need to wait for Elliott Waves to show its hand. Now at the high, by the way, oh, there you go. Thanks, chat. You guys so kind. I love to see this. So nice that there you go, Jeremy. One question before I go into weekly Elliott Waves. I am new to this, but can the drop from 71 to be considered a wave 1? Your wave 1 is then to 61.1. So from the high to the first low, that's then your wave 1. Then you have your wave 2 to 72 or 73, and then your second wave 1 is the 59K. So you have a double 1-2 in that case. So you have a double 1-2, and then you get your big wave 3. I'll show it on the chart. Tom Bombadil, it's cumulative volume delta, CVD. I have a whole video about it on my channel. It's on the homepage. And it's on AGGR, so not on TradingView. I use the AGGR website, which is what you see here. This is the 3-minute time frame, but on a 15-minute. So CVD with the lines. Of course, it takes practice, but in the video, I explain how this works and what to look for and how to use CVD pretty much. So more locally, we have a lower high on price, higher high on blue, that's a bearish CVD. Couple of red candles while yellow CVD continues to move towards the upside, which is an in-candle bearish CVD. So yeah. Anyway, Let's do a little bit more of weekly stuff. Okay, gotta get my my folders here. Now I have a bull, I have a bear, but I also have a second bull, which I'm gonna put on the chart. Logarithmic scale. Almost New York opening as well. Interesting. Okay, your bullish scenario, and I have another one coming up, but as long as this one isn't invalidated, we don't really have to look at too much different things. But we have our 1 2 1 2 3 4 5, another 3, another 5, right? Or another 4 and then another 5 to the upside. Common target for 4 2 3 6 0 5 from the low of 2 to the high of 3. Right, this is your common target area, invalidation 49.3k. It's quite clear in this particular case. Now, one that I had in my mind when I was out and about for a run, and it then became a scenario that I thought about, is this would be your most bearish bull trend scenario, if you know what I mean. Put it there. Pop, pop. There we go. Oh, we should do this lock skill. I'd just like to highlight again, this is your most bearish bull trend scenario. Okay, just like do this, do that, make it look nice, put the prices on. This is usually, of course, what I do in the background when I prepare my content for all of you. So you see a little bit of what happens behind the screens, I suppose. And then we put this in a folder. Let's call it macro bear bull. Put it there. Common target for your wave 2 is the green box. 382 is uncommon. 886, you don't want to hit the 886. Okay. 42.8, 31.4. Which would be your deepest bull market targets. Why don't you use the in-color fibs? Because I like to color code my fibs to my count. And of course I have different templates that have different colors. So yeah, and I already have quite a list of templates. So I can't really make one for every color. So that's why. Yeah, and I do like to make things pretty. So yeah. So there we go. 1 2 in yellow. Right, 3 4 5, and then in green we look for another 1 2 3 4 5. This would be very bullish, by the way. By the way, this would be more bullish than this. You are gonna reach higher all-time highs with a deep wave 2 compared to this scenario. Yes, short term, or on a weekly time frame. Short term, you first move up here and oh wow, 100k, amazing, and then you drop in a bear market. But here you're not talking about 100k anymore, right? In this scenario, here you're going to be talking about a lot higher. So this is your most bearish bull trend scenario where you first move down and then you shoot up, but then you're going to have a massive wave 3. 100k is a minimum, absolute minimum in this scenario. So this is something that I thought of when I was outside and I was thinking about the chart, and now I actually put it on the chart to have a look, of course. So your 05786 is your common target, 42.9, 31.4. 382 uncommon, 48.7. Right. And this is the scenario that you then want to invalidate, because what you see is the 0.618 here, invalidating wave 4 in that first scenario, this one, is higher than the 382 minimum target for wave 2 in the bear bull scenario. So it's quite easy. Once you invalidate the one, you're going to be thinking about the other. I actually think I may have some other stuff here. Oh, yeah, 111, that's not yet relevant though. Okay. Yeah. Let me have a quick look at the chart and see if anything else decides to pop in. Has to be said that the second wave 1 is very big though. So here, your second wave 1 from the low to the high to the low, it is longer than the first wave 1 by quite a mile. And preferably a double 1-2 has a second wave 2 that is shorter in time and price compared to the first wave 1, which is not the case here. This one is a lot longer in price, which does lower the probabilities for a double 1-2 here, and it is also longer in time. So again, it does reduce the probabilities for a double 1-2. Something we have to keep in mind as well. So probabilities, not yet great. Not great. Anything else? Yeah, there's something else, but I don't like that. Would be very bullish, but this is not yet relevant. 1, 2, and then 3. Then your wave 2 targets are a lot lower. Your wave 2 here is a lot longer than your wave 4, and it's more common for a wave 4 to be longer than a wave 2. And your wave 2 is very, very shallow, so preferably your wave 4 is deep, but it's not too deep as well. So this would be even more bearish bullish, but we take it step by step, right? Scenario per scenario. First one, second one, and then the drama queen one is the one I just had on my chart. So so what is New York going to do? The bearish CVDs haven't yet played out. We actually need to take this low here. Finished. Water. Where are we? We are still on top of support here. Okay, so yeah, that is the weekly time frame pretty much. And on the 4 hour, if you really want to go down in a bear market, you need a triple 1-2 here, which still doesn't have the highest probability, but that would be this. So you have your first 1-2, second 1-2, third 1-2, potentially 2 finished or yet to be finished, and then you go down in a crazy wave 3. And this is the scenario where you go down all the way to below 15k, pretty much, right? Which is the doom scenario. Not the highest probabilities though, as wave 2 hit the 886, rare target for wave 2, common target for B or X, increasing probabilities that any structures to the downside are C/Ys, increasing probabilities to take the high sooner or later. So yeah. So yeah. A little bit of action, maybe. There we go. Pretty much the only level we need to look for. 1 second, I have to go up a little bit. Where were we? Oh yeah, thanks chat for helping Jeremy out. We answered that. Bitcoin index chart on the weekly. Yeah, I know about index, but yeah, now of course we're looking at the local weekly structure, so I can do that on the Coinbase chart here. At least I have enough data. Answer this one here. Pleasure Urban Development Group. Blaster, you want to put a picture of this in Discord? Happy to put it on stream. Place retracement fibs on the first bull run top/bottom. You mean from low to high or from high to low? And then add the 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Send me feel free to send me a picture. Tag me in Discord. Mark, out here on the grind. Sick of this cringe sideways price action. Need a breakout. Yeah, who knows? You might not have to wait soon. This week is quite volatile, potential heavy, I suppose. There's definitely the potential to see some movement. I mean, arguably the beginning of this week has been great already. No, Monday move up, next day down we go. Oh, not a bad start of the week. Why do people charge so different? Is that people don't know rules, or how one counts doesn't matter much? How one counts matters the most, as Elliott Wave is very much related to how well an analyst knows the rules and the guidelines. What you will see is that usually the best analysts have similar scenarios because that's what the chart communicates. But so when I look at, I can very, very quickly identify on YouTube if someone knows his shit or is just talking rubbish, right? If someone doesn't know the rules and the guidelines, I'll know it in the first few minutes of a video. I only have to look at the chart. I don't even need someone to say anything. I just have to look at the chart. If they send me a screenshot or I see a YouTube video and I see the window they trade in, I only need to see the chart, and just by the chart alone, without any context speaking wise, I already know if someone actually has a great expertise in trading Elliott waves, or is more like messing around, not really sticking to the rules and guidelines. I don't need a video for that. So the different ways of charting is, of course, you have personal styles, right? People use different colors, different things, but Elliott waves is still Elliott waves, and the skill of the user is what determines the probabilities that the user can attach to certain scenarios, which therefore influences the trades. And luckily, at least, in my case, we're doing very good. So else probably the channel wouldn't have reached over 10,000 subscribers in a year's time. So for me, the feedback is reflected in what I hear from the community. So yeah. But unfortunately, and this is the danger of Elliott waves, there's also people on YouTube that count Elliott waves, but they don't stick to rules and guidelines. They know it's about this, or it's 5 waves up, 3 down type of thing, but they don't really know the ins and outs of all the different rules. But an average viewer that doesn't know much about Elliott waves will not spot the inaccuracies of the analysis he or she just watched, while someone with experience can very quickly notice, like very, very quick. So that's dangerous, right? Because people tend to then follow, not in trades, but follow pieces of content where they learn things, but they might learn it wrong, which is not what we want, because what we want people to learn Elliott waves nicely, like with the correct rules, correct guidelines, and then use it correctly as well. But I only need a chart, and I know enough. Yeah. Answer this one. Pump or dump. Not sure if Mohammed is still in the chat, as Mark will know, but probabilities have been communicated earlier, and also what to look out for to increase or decrease probabilities of local scenarios as well. That wave 2 target matches my Bitcoin prediction chart. Exactly. When you showed me the 36K target just now, I mean, that's when I had to show that scenario that I thought of at the end of last week. So, yeah, it's a nice one. Huh? Can you look at the G? Oh, wait, the D. Yeah, so the triangle of GZ. Oh, I mean, yeah, so I know about the triangle. It's not top of my list because it's, yeah. It feels a lot. By the way, GZ is a great counter as well, but this feels like forcing a count on top of the structure. So I would count it differently, and that's of course what I do. It feels very forceful. So wave A is very, very short, but look at your wave C, right? Look how big C is compared to A. Very low probabilities. And yes, there is an example, but even here I would count this differently as well. So your C in an ABC here, compared to your A, I think A will probably fit about 20 times inside wave C, which is unheard of, right? Like what we're looking for in a triangle is you have your A, which usually is your bigger structure, and then you have your B, C, D, and then an E, where preferably the proportions between the waves are correct, and generally waves tend to become a bit smaller in time and price as you are condensing towards the end of the triangle, right? You're condensing, contracting to the point of the triangle. So seeing a wave A like this, then a longer B and a massive C immediately would make me count the structure differently. I do like this though. By the way, we are on top of the previous monthly candles. But yeah, I so everyone does their own way of analysis, but this is according to my Elliott Wave usage and knowledge, not how I count this. Wave A incredibly short, wave C is way too long, which that's already, just that would already not make me look at this. Locally though, on the 4 hour, what are we looking for? Oh yeah, so A, B, yeah, so again, wave A very short, C very long, D, E. So I would count it differently as explained. And what we then have, D, A flat, yeah, so here's another one. Your wave B is too deep. Wave B is not allowed to go below the 1.618 of wave A in the triangle here, which it did. Besides, your wave C again is very long compared to your A. So yeah. And then we have X, and then we have the zigzag in Y. And then you have a 5 wave move down to finish wave E, and then invalidation, of course, is the low. And the third one, D, W, X, Y. Expanding diagonal structures are very rare, never preferred unless the other stuff fails. Then you have B, five, 3, 5, A, B, C, and Y with an expanding diagonal in A. But yeah, that's the expanding diagonal is a. So yeah. It's a fun scenario, right? It's very original, but it wouldn't be the way for me to count it. And I know GZ already for a while, and he has some very original, unique ideas. But this is not something I would use myself. It's all probabilities, but for me those are low for that. What's your expectation with Bitcoin? Will it pump from here or will it continue to dump? He's still here. Oh wait, did we already answer that one? I think we already answered that one. No? Yeah, because I was talking. So we already he just repeated his question. Yeah, so we answered that one already. I have a long from 6299. Oi. Okay, that's up here. Liquidation 55k. Should I exit or wait? Well, so in my opinion, the first mistake is liquidation on 55k, meaning you don't have a stop loss. Step one is knowing where you're wrong, right? It's having a plan. So when you enter at around here, what was the plan? What was the strategy? What was the invalidation of your trade? What was the target, right? Was your stop loss here? Or was the invalidation here? Was the invalidation here? So when you're trading, don't look at the profit. Look at the stop loss, right? Where am I wrong on this trade? Because now you find yourself in a very difficult situation. Because you talk about liquidation. So you have a long liquidation 55k. I'm not a financial advisor. I spoke about the probabilities and how the levels also on the chart influence these probabilities to either up or downside, and then it's all up. I mean, it's all up to how you manage your trade now, and yeah. So I won't be able to answer this question. Probabilities from an Elliott Wave point of view are communicated, but never financial advice, and the mistake is not having a stop loss or a clear plan. Yeah, which of course is a problem in trading. Yeah. Live chart not shared. Oh, it is shared though, but I put it on during the live stream, so maybe earlier this morning it wasn't shared. Yeah. Have you made in the previous uptrend a Fibonacci for wave B and the values? Do you keep this reading? Yeah, it's still here, but I like to keep my charts very clean. So I know that this is pretty much your final support. Now I don't mind wicking the low, but if you really start closing below here, it's not too great. So we are at the wave B target area. but I don't need it on my chart because we know. So I just use that one line of support, which is the value area low of this bit. And I have the 618 on my chart, as that would invalidate an impulse to the downside. And that's the only two levels that I'm interested in. So also with regards to what Rob said, right? Looking at my chart, my chart is usually always shared. Sometimes I put it private because I do stuff. And generally my chart is just very clean. I don't put a lot of stuff on my chart. It's very clean, very less is more type of chart. Pragmatic Man, how you doing? Welcome. Elia McKenna, welcome. Yeah, that's a good one, Rob EV. Yep, pretty much the same. Imagine that wave 3. Just saw that new idea. I paused a lot. Oh yeah, yeah. That wave 3 would be very big, but before you reach that, you're first gonna go down. Very big. HZ, relatively late, but still good, man. Welcome, good to have you here. Has it touched the 886? Not yet. 886 is still lower. Yeah, it tends to do this. So it's of course not 100%, but yeah, it does like the golden pocket retest. And the 886 is still a little bit lower. Where did I, oh here. No. Oh, there we go, 6451. Opinions on more crypto online. That's one of the peoples that I meant. One of the people that I meant. I'm sure in real life, so I don't really know him, but I'm sure in real life it's a great guy, and we can have a chat. But that is one of the people that I meant. And also congrats on his 200k plus, by the way. But yeah, if you look at the chart, you'll immediately know it's no bueno. And there's in every video, pretty much every video, there's mistakes with rules and guidelines, which is also a reason why I made the channel, because I couldn't really I couldn't watch it. So I never watch more crypto online, but that's because I know a lot of Elliott Wave, so I can spot all the mistakes. I think his success made it more difficult, where I focus on Bitcoin and then sometimes do an alt stream, but he pushes out so much content per day that the quality goes down while the quantity goes up, and you can see it in the charts. I don't even need the video. I can just look at the chart and I can see it's not great. So I'm sure I'm very impressed with how he built the channel. Very impressed with how he managed to grow it that big. But Elliott Waves, there's other sources. I don't watch him for Elliott Waves. I mean, I barely watch anyone even, because I have my own stuff going on. I never really watch trading related content, but yeah, his analysis is not. There's usually at least one mistake in a per video. Yeah, and that's something I find difficult to watch, because I can spot these. Unfortunately, most people don't. They won't be able to spot it. So so yeah, probably a great guy, but from an Elliott Wave point of view, not a great analyst. How do you start to learn Elliott Waves? So I started with a pen notebook, a free public website, which you can find in the description, which is the Elliott Wave bit.ly link, which is this one here. It's just free, it's public. This is a great website to learn Elliott Waves. Make sure to make notes and write stuff down, put the scenarios on your draw them in your notebook, and then it's all about implementing. Implementation is what's going to get you the experience, and it does help to be in communities that focus on Elliott Waves. So Discord is free if you feel to join, but that's where I would start. Get the notebook, get the pen, make notes, draw the different scenarios, and then try to implement them and find them on the chart, because the chart is not as perfect as the educational sources, right? And the gold membership is my Elliott Wave course, so that is where all my brains are in that course. Yeah. On the weekly with my CVD indicator. On a weekly time frame, liquid. What's the low of the bull CVD here? Is that the 24K level? What's up, Eric Dorion and Laflamme from Canada? How you doing? Elliott waves are hard, that is correct, and takes time and practice to get even to a basic level of skill. Yeah, it's not easy, but it's a great tool to have in your toolbox. Blaster posted it. Okay, I need to see this in big. Can I zoom in? What do we see here? And we, I think, just took the low, by the way. Some volume. Oh, no, we didn't. Volume increasing. Volume increasing as price moving down is wave 3-ish. So we might just see a continuation to the downside. But where was it? 240, 616. Yeah, potential. Bounce. Yeah, it's a nice bit of confluence. Definitely a target area to keep in mind. What is this line? The EMA, I guess. So the EMA is around 40K now. Imagine retesting that. Yeah, it's a nice find. I like it. Yeah, it's an interesting one. The 38K. I see. So the most recent move to the upside. Tweezer top. I switched from intraday trading, futures and QQQ options to Bitcoin per future to Kraken. Your analytical perspectives have been the most beneficial and elucidating source of information. Thank you for that. And if you ever come to Denmark, let me know. Yo, Kasper Stadil Peterson. First of all, welcome, as I believe it is your first message in the live chat. But yeah, nice that you switched. Welcome to the Bitcoin environment, I suppose. But yeah, it's a pleasure, man. It's a pleasure. I love sharing Elliott Wave insights and hopefully inspire people to learn more about Elliott Waves as well and provide some education in all of the content I have. But it's a pleasure. And Denmark, I actually haven't yet visited Denmark. It's a crime. So yeah, it's definitely still on the list. My wife and I, we love to travel. Generally, we go to the south instead of the north. But yeah, when I do travel to Denmark or anywhere else, for that matter, I always write it in Discord, and probably in the live streams before I go, I already talk about it and I make a community post so that people are informed. So you will definitely know. You will know. My point of view, yes, I mean, the Elliott Wave analysis has been done earlier, of course, in the live stream, where now we are in chatting and Q&A. Your bullish scenario is a flat, your bearish scenario is continuation. So, and that's that. And as long as we don't see local proof of support or price hitting the 618, we're going to be looking for price to continue its way to the downside. Instead of bouncing in this wave B area, we are then looking for price to just impulse down 1, 2, 3, and wherever how low price wants to go, we're going to be looking for a bigger impulse to the downside instead of a bounce. The bullish scenario here is a flat 3-wave A, 3-wave B, looking for a 5-wave C to the upside, where now that New York is open, wouldn't mind seeing the lows taken, but then you want to see proof of support. You need some sign of strength here. which we haven't seen yet. And now we're down at the lows again. High probability to take the lows because we also hit the 886, taken from this low to this high. 886 is touched, right? So rare probability that this is a wave 2, high probability to take the low. Volume is also still increasing as price is moving to the downside, by the way. Yeah, there we go. So it gives it gives some wave 3 vibes, right? If you look at the volume here. So yeah. Now with this also, it is a great idea for me to quickly manage. Let me have a look where. So I never really know if I open a window where it opens. So okay, there we go. Voila. Wait, what are you seeing now? Oh, you're still looking at me. There we go. We gotta. So yeah, that's the move to the downside. I find you after watching more crypto online, YouTube started suggesting more Elliott Wave channels. Only the scenarios from both of you tend to be correct. His numbers are often bang on. Interesting. He also has 15 different counts on the chart, so I bet there's always one box that respects. No, like I just know the ins and outs, and unfortunately, that was an alarm. There's just mistakes, which makes it very difficult for me to look at the content. So yeah, but I bet he's a great guy. And he did an amazing job as well. So I don't hate on any channels because it's a very impressive thing that he has built. It's just Elliott Wave wise can be better. A little bit of a swing failure pattern of the lows at the moment here. Sunday is the altcoin live stream. So which can include potential stocks as well. Maybe I have to do a stock live stream as well. Pleasure, Tatashara. Always a pleasure. And welcome here as well. I always like it. Learning a lot. You know, like I love it when people learn more about Elliott Waves as well. Liquid Mafia. If it's X-Force, yeah, I know the guy. I actually was in his live stream yesterday. He's cool. I know him for a little bit longer now, and he finally made a YouTube channel. Yeah, exactly. And you can learn from many different channels. It's also nice to compare like the general counts and see what's happening. So you can learn something everywhere, pretty much, right? Every channel. And try to take in what you need to improve yourself. Yeah. Is trendline IMP? I don't know what you mean, Mr. Unlost. MACD is good for tendons, I think. Weigh me maybe on bottom. I personally think MACD is good for tendons. Floria Cotta. I'm not so sure what you mean here with your sentence. Rob, good luck with the job. Thanks for popping in the early morning. Appreciate it. Good luck. I also have to go soon though, so it's also time for me to continue with some other stuff that I still have planned today. Yeah, but let's see if we can get some sort of a bounce after wicking the low or not. It's an interesting little battle locally. Is trendline important? In Elliott Waves, trend lines do help to identify certain structures. For example, triangle, diagonal, or even trend lines in impulses as well. So the 0-1 or the 0-2 trend line, for example. But it very much depends on the analyst, I suppose, how many trend lines you see. So I'm not a big fan of I like the horizontal lines more than the diagonal structures, diagonal lines. So you tend to see me using more horizontal lines, except for when we talk about diagonals, of course. My questions are blocked. Why? Probably because there's a word inside your question that YouTube blocks. So I'm not sure if there are certain words inside that potentially scammers tend to use, like you make big gains or profit or those type of things. You can always try to put some signs, or like, what's that? The like some random keyboard signs in the middle of a word to see if it then actually gets sent. So it's a YouTube thing. Jay Green, welcome. So we are now in wave 3 locally. This is not confirmed. We can't speak in certainties. This is still potential ABC, but we do have volume increasing as prices moving down. We just took the low though, so we're still in the same boat. We're on top of support, waiting for either proof of support or the 618 to be hit. I actually have to, by the way, move the 618 now. Or we want to see the support lost and price actually moving impulsively to the downside. If we made 5 waves and didn't break through the 618, what would happen if we made... 1 second. Wait, is my OBS work? Yeah, so I didn't quite understand what would happen if we made 5 waves and didn't break. Yeah, so if you make 5 waves to the downside here, you're going to be looking for a move up and then continuation down. So either way, you want to see a 3 and then a 5 up, right? The moment this becomes 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5, we do look for a bounce potentially during the weekend, who knows, but then you're going to look for continuation. We're still at support, still waiting for proof of support as well. So it's a bit of a mix here locally, I suppose, at the moment, right? In the middle of 2 scenarios. MACD is good in divergence between wave 3 and 5. Yes, same with RSI. That's what it's, from an Elliott Wave point of view, usually used for. Babadi. I am Babadi. Makes me think of Dragon Ball Z, no? The Boo boss. I think his name was Babadi, no? Thank you all for your efforts. I want to ask about RSI. Is it really important as it is? In which time? I mean, this is a personal question, I suppose, because I don't use RSI. So it's not as important to me, at least. But others will, of course, vouch for the RSI in confluence with Elliott Waves. But I don't use RSI with Elliott Waves. I prefer to use other tools. So RSI for me is it can be used. I know it can effectively be used, but it's just one of those tools that, yeah, like all the tools, you need to build experience, build some data, and then it can really work for you. But if you don't really like the tool and you prefer other tools, you can also use other tools. So it's not like RSI is the way to go, or CVD or anything else. It's all about your experience with the tool, how much data you have, and then you can make it work. So RSI is mainly famous for spotting wave 3-5 divergences, but you still need to know how many 1-2s you have. Else you're gonna have a problem once you get the 3-5s. If you would have sold at the first bearish CVD during the uptrend from 24K, you would have sold at 35K and missed doubling your income if you took it all the way to 74. So it can work very effectively, but it's all about experience there. And Yeah, I don't really use RSI myself at all. I actually, I say I don't really use. I should say I don't use. Yeah. Yeah, different platforms, different volume profiles, I can imagine. But also there's a couple of different pools that you can do in this range, which gives you a little bit of a different value area. So you might get a couple different ones. Yeah. Majin Buu, yeah, but the boss of Majin Buu before Majin killed Babidi was, I think, called Babidi. Let me actually check now. What was the Babidi? Okay, I was close though. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I'm such a nerd. I love it. Yeah, man, it's my favorite anime, man. I love Dragon Ball. Union of South American nations are prepared to recognize Solana cryptocurrency as a reserve currently. Solana goes to 2,300 each. Maybe. Maybe not. That is the question. So I actually don't know where Solana is, but yeah, maybe not. But this sounds very Moonboyish. Let's first talk about where Solana is now and the current range that it's in, which is $128. So this sounds like the absolute typical Moonboy thing to say without any chart foundation. Is there potential? Yeah, I mean, there's potential. You know, when all the Moonboys were talking about 500K, 1 million Bitcoin in the year 2021, is there a chance? I mean, there's always a chance. And then we got rejected at 65 and then at 69. And so, yeah. Level by level, see what the chart gives you. Make sure to manage it well, because you might find yourself in a typical Moonboy scenario where you expect 500K, 1 million Bitcoin in 2021 and price rejects at 65 and finds itself at 30 and then 69 and then 15. And then you'll have a problem. So where can I learn more about the point of control? I have one video on my profile in the educational playlist, which is all about the volume profile, where you learn more about point of controls. So that would be the place to be. Yeah. Seems like we are moving below support now, no? Nostalgia for Toonami. Yeah, man. Yeah, cheers, Mark. Can it bounce from here? I mean, theoretically, it can bounce anywhere, but we first want to see proof of support, which we haven't seen at the moment. So, yeah. So when you are looking for an area of interest, right? So when for example, you identify a potential area where you want to long, you first want to see if price shows some support, like bullish RSI, MACD, money flow indicator, maybe bullish CVD divergences, market structure changes, hitting the 618, like these type of things will give extra confluence to going for a long instead of randomly longing in the middle of a move to the downside. So yeah, and at the moment locally there's no sign of support here. So yeah, we just look for lower. Also, price moving down, volume is increasing. It's usually a bit wave 3 style, no? So yeah. Always nice. If we break support, how far down will we go? Let's have a look. I mean, the next support, it's so level by level, right? Because you don't know, we might go all the way down to 30K, but you take it level by level. So with regards to the target boxes, I actually don't have any target box here, as you can see. And there is some support, but I'll show that in a second. But if I open all my folders, you can see there's a big void. 54.4 is the first daily naked point of control. Bit of support that I like to use. But when we do talk about support, if we lose this here and move to the downside, go below the previous lows, then first of all, we have a weekly gap. A weekly gap is important because the weekly gap here on a weekly time frame, the weekly gap high is 59.2K. Let me actually show this. It's on the weekly time frame. Up, 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 up. We have this candle and that candle creating the gap over here on a weekly time frame. Now, commonly when price hits the high, you at least get some sort of support or a bit of a reaction. But if you start to close daily candles inside the gap, it increases probabilities to fill the gap. And then the gap low is 53K. In the middle of this gap, however, we have one area of support that should be taken into account, which is a 4-hour level of support, which is the white box here inside the weekly gap between 56.6 and 57.6. So those are like areas that we're going to be looking for. But if you lose 56.6, then yeah, 54.4, and then you're going to move. You're going to just move down. Yeah. So that is with regards to support. I just showed a zoomed out ring chart for context of where there might be some comparisons to a previous scenario. Okay. Let's have a look. Where this ring is in relation to this post, and then some comparisons to where it may share some similarities. So we have been grinding this ring to the upside. Now we break the ring. This is the same ring, the blue line, where we found resistance and rejected. Here we lose it. So it's not turning resistance, but we're losing it. Makes you wonder where the next circle is. Yeah, low. I think we have to go, lower until there is real pain and disbelief in Bitcoin. Probably. It's too easy if everyone wins, you know. It's usually not how it goes. Bubbity, yeah. 886 is about to be hit. That is also correct. Let me put this. Yeah, that wasn't the highest probability scenario anyway, but that will decrease probabilities even more. Yeah. So the wave B bounce is now invalidated. It's not yet invalidated. It does get lower in probabilities due to the volume as well, but let me have a quick look. So we toggle on the 1.618. There we go. And we are we're still inside like the target area for your B, but your wave B has to be a three-wave structure. Wave C can end on high volume. Right? So yeah, 1, 2, and then 1, 2, and then we want to count, of course, a 3, 4, 5, preferably. So that now it starts to be dangerous with the 618 because there is the potential for 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, which ends in impulse. So now the 618 becomes a little less relevant, and it very much depends on the move up. If you get a C to the upside, we want to see an impulse, right? So it should be a straight line to the upside. But if you start ranging here correctively, yeah, you know, we expect to move to the downside. So wave Cs do like to end on a high amount of volume, which is what we have at the moment. but you need to see proof of support, else we're just going to think wave 3 and lower prices. What would help a bit of the bullish scenario is this range here, the fact that you went down in a staircase, which is typical 4-5 price action, right? Down, sideways, after a move on high volume. But yeah, you need some proof of support, yeah. Which is for wave 2 and wave B range. For wave 2, the 886 and the 854 are not preferred. It's wave B. Yeah. 816, the 816. It certainly turned into Lord of the Rings. Wait, from Bubbedy to Lord of the Rings. How did that happen? 25k Bitcoin. Imagine. We will see at least a nice bounce from 12-hour order block 57.7. Yeah. That is the area of, that's my SR level as well. Yeah. I have plenty but aren't strong. Yeah. 59.2 is not that great, but 56, 57 is at least decent, like Kind Profile has as well. That's the most important level. If you lose that, it's low 50s, you know. Oh yeah, the 1112 to the downside. Yeah. We covered that. Which is this one. 1 second. Let me go to the scary scenario, as Liquid Mafia says. Let me actually remove this. Let me make this neat, or at least somewhat. 5, 4. And also make this white. So this wave 2 hit the 05. That's a common target, no? Very short wave 2 in time, though. That's sometimes the way it is. Same with wave B and C. Wait. And there you go, Liquid Mafia. You're 1112, yeah. You did hit the 886 here, which is still very much a pain here for this scenario. But we do at least have it in the folder, yeah. And of course, this wave 2, the last one, right? Yeah, you hit the 05, but we can still have the flat and then go. So maybe hit the 886 and so yeah. We have that scenario. We have live pair. I don't know about this one. Oh, it's an asset? Oh yeah. Sunday is altcoin live stream, yeah. Let me remove, no, let me do this. Uh, if the mentioned area breaks, we will see 54, 50k for sure. Yeah, but going lower than 54.8 would make not much sense. Yeah, the low 50s are definitely a target if you lose that 56. Yeah. Would you think on a short on Bitcoin would be a good trade? You want to short at the highs and long at the lows, but always stick to your plan. So if you have a plan and a strategy, make sure to execute it. But ideally, I mean, that's I guess always ideally, you were in a short already from higher. But that's, yeah. So now, of course, you had a big move to the downside. You're hovering around support. If you confidently break support, and yeah, you might be looking for lower. But generally, it's not a great idea, I suppose. But no financial advice. You do you, your plan, your strategy, your win, your loss. I don't have any influence on this. How many altcoins are covered generally? Last time we did 19. So in 6 hours and 43 minutes was very long. So we'll see. I already have many accounts on alts, so probably it won't take as long because I already got a lot of stuff now. So let's see. Yeah. Depending on how these alt streams go, I can always add a second one in the middle of the month, like do 2 a month basically. But it very much depends on how these go. Did you buy a birthday present for Ashley yet? I did. Multiple presents. Yeah. Some of them have already been given because she needed those. So, Dim Jack, want to hear your opinion? He said that we are now in a ranging of wave Y inside wave Y with zigzag. What do you think of this count? I don't think it's valid. Your wave X would be very short compared to your W. So it's not the highest probability. I do know where he's coming from. Unfortunately, he doesn't really like to use time, which is incredibly important. So in his WXY scenario, I only have a guess where his X is. But his X is probably at the high at like 67k, I guess. This one. So that's probably where his X is. And then he looks for a wave Y down. But wave X is very short in time compared to W, which isn't too great. And wave Y being a zigzag would then lead to a WXY flat X zigzag structure, which is valid. It's just that your wave X is incredibly short. So something to keep in mind. And you can have a zigzag down, but still be bearish, by the way. So you don't finish your WXY. So probably, I guess, what he has is WXY, X very short. But moving down, even if you have a zigzag here and move up, what I think would be absolutely funny would be this. Where is it? W, flat structure in X, Y. So you get your Y later. Would catch out people twice. That would be quite hilarious. There's a rule where if you hit support resistance 2 times, the 3rd time you break through. At least in probabilities, you have a higher probability of breaking the more often you test it, yeah. Can you kind of move from an expanded WXY, 62, 400, 64, that's very low time frame, no, on a 1 hour time frame. 62, 400. Wait, where are we? That's this low. To 64, 700. Well, first of all, there's no expanded WXY. So we don't have that. So you can have a WXY, but we just call this a sideways double combo. So the word expanded is only used for a flat structure. But I do know what you mean here with this then being your WXY. However, your wave W here is a zigzag, your Y is a zigzag. But that is not allowed in a sideways double combo. Because wave Y has to be different than wave W. If W is a zigzag, wave Y is not allowed to be a zigzag. Wave W can only be a flat or a zigzag, but it can't be a flat because we didn't get a wave B. So this has to be a zigzag, meaning Y can't be a zigzag, which therefore means we can't count this as a WXY. It has to be counted differently. Do you have any open trades? Maybe, maybe not. That's personal trading. What do you think about Saga? I don't know. Altcoin stream on a Sunday. Still possible for RSI divergence on the 1 hour? Yeah, I mean, I suppose so. RSI divergence, I guess you mean a bullish one at the moment on the 1 hour time frame. Everyone expecting Hong Kong ETFs to pump price way high today, but the opposite happened, which is exactly what you would expect with the ETF announcements. Same happened with the American ETFs. Little pump and then a 20% retrace. Would be great to cover alts more often. That's the, yeah, it's interesting. Depends how many. So I like to do alts in like one stream. I don't want to clutter the whole channel, which is focused very much on Bitcoin, to have all these alts videos. But a separate playlist with altcoin live streams can be very fun. Yeah, puzzling on the alts. Your favorite scenario? The WXY. It's very interesting. Grab the lows, move up for X, finish X after the 382, and then move down for Y. Double fake out. You're the boss. Thanks for your advice. Cheers, Andy. I want to learn. And that's the way to go. That's the way to go. And also, with regards to mistakes, losses, they're not bad, right? As long as you learn like what happened. Why did I have this loss? You know, maybe a psychological lesson, or use stop losses, have a better plan, build more statistics. You know, there's always things to improve. These lives are brilliant. Helps with these updates in real time. Cheers, Urban Development Group. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm here for. Just seeing what the market does, talking about it, and chatting with all of you after the analysis that's been done, of course. So, yeah, thanks for being here. Yeah, and thanks for interacting as well. GBZ, same thing happened with the US ETFs. Didn't begin. Yeah, exactly, Kevin. Yeah, classic sell the news event. Yep. And usually you also retrace those news events again. To attend this Sunday altcoin stream, what kind of... Oh, no, it's free. It's public. It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. It's just here on the channel. No worries. Next resistance would be, first of all, this one. Well, actually, let me go to a lower time frame here. Arguably, your first resistance are the order blocks. Right, little one, small one, close candles up here, you move to the upside, and then the bigger resistance areas come higher, right? That's here, the blue box, 62, 65.2, 65.8. I'm not sure if this is too relevant. If you enter this volume profile, probabilities are high, you move to the other side, which increase probabilities to move to the blue box. So yeah. Yeah, so I don't really like to do alt short videos because it takes a lot of time to do Elliott waves, and I am a guy that wants quality on one and quantity on two. So with the alts, works much better to have a live stream with the timestamps per alt and then cover like 20 alts compared to making 20 different videos, because there's a lot more time that goes into making 20 separate videos, even though the conclusion is the same because it's still an analysis. And with one live stream, I can just put the timestamps in. So Is there any trade? Maybe according to your plan, there is, but that depends on your plan and strategy. Got quite ideas on some alts. It's interesting. Alts are always a nice puzzle as well. They're quite fun. Do you believe in Bitcoin liquidation heat map? Yes, I have seen people using the heat map. Absolutely. And it can work very efficiently if it fits your plan and strategy. So yes, I would answer that with yes. I don't use it myself. I'm very simplistic, I suppose, in what I do, says someone that does Elliott Waves. But yeah, I don't have too much other stuff going on. But yeah, heat map, yeah, absolutely. Dimjack, I know. That's why I never sub and join his membership, because I think his count never followed the rule. And now you see me here with Koens. Why? What kind of measure? That's why I never sub and join his membership, because I think his count never followed the rule. And now you see me. Oh, wait. Oh, you're talking about MCO. Yeah. So you never sub there and joined the membership there because the rules of Elliott Waves. And now you see here, I see. I need to think about that one. Yeah, Dimjack. Oh, what a boss. Cheers, man. And it's good to have you here. I'm happy to have you here, and also happy to see people actually learn stuff. Learn a little bit of Elliott Waves while trading. So bit of price took the lows, moved below support, now moving to the upside. We see a bit of volume coming in. What's happening on the 3-minute time frame? Yeah, not bad. Yeah, CVD moving down here. The bullish CVD already played out though. Yo, Samith, how you doing? How you doing? Welcome. Good to have you here. Heat maps are OP. Yeah, some people in the group really make them use effectively. Salivian, how you doing? Still good? Absolutely. Just chilling now. Do have to go very soon though, because I have other work-related things that need to happen. But yeah, doing very good. Sunrise, what's up? How you doing? Yes, I am. Capital letters. Yeah, cheers, Dimjack. It's nice to hear you learn a thing or two as well while you're at it. Good to see and good to hear. Good to hear as well. So we're still inside the target area for your... So we didn't yet do too much. I mean, since we've been live, we pretty much went sideways. Yeah. This is what we had. Flipping some resistance back into support would be like a step one. No? Is your house on Funda yet? No, not yet. We did get the pictures, by the way, of the house, and they look good. Yeah. But it's not there yet. Fan from Tokyo. What's up, JJ? How you doing? Is Tokyo, is that the Konnichiwa? Is that Tokyo? Or is that like no? Is that, what is it, Ash? Chinese. Oh, I don't know. But by all means, good to have you here from Tokyo. My dad went to Tokyo last year for work. It is Japanese. Ah, konnichiwa. I see. Yeah. Okay. Well, at least I know one word. But B channel, man. My dad was there and for work and made pictures as well. Amazing pictures. B channel, man. At it again. Someone take his bank card away, because he keeps gifting, adding new members to the community, which I bet everyone appreciates very, very much, including myself. B channel, thanks, man. But At it again. JJ, Junior Miranda, bye bye. HZ and Carl Stringe. You just got gifted by Mr. B channel. Send me an email with your YouTube, Discord, and Telegram username, if you have all three, or only Discord or Telegram. And I will bump your membership up to silver, so that you at least have some benefits as well from because this is a bronze gift, but always the gifters I put them into silver. So make sure to send me an email, koenztrading@outlook.com. B channel, thanks man, like so kind of you, really appreciate it. And yeah, make sure to say thanks to B channel as well. Cheers mate. What a guy, what a guy. He always pops in and drops the bomb, you know, bomb 5, bomb 1, bomb 10. It's always some nice little bit of nice little push to the upside, no? Imagine we get the wave C now. 59.6. No, we are still in wave B target area, waiting for proof of support, and yeah, we have a bit of volume, price moving up. Support, maybe flipping a little bit of market structure here, but if we continue, yeah, 59.6 would be the, I would go 59.2 if you take the low, really. It is Japanese, yeah, only follow the best. Thanks Tim Jack. Slerf and Turv, Yokohama, Japan. Such a legendary name, by the way, Yokohama. Also a name that you see in the movies. Konnichiwa is Japanese. Hello from the Philippines. Crypto Dom, how are you doing? Tokyo is the capital of Japan, yeah. At least I knew that one, but that's as far as it goes pretty much. Help our economy. Yeah. I don't know what's going on in that side of the world, gotta say. We have our hands full with the economy locally here. Can you guide us what kind of support we will be looking at this kind of point to take a trade? Obviously not financial advice. Yeah, so this is where personal plans come in, personal stuff, of course. So stuff that people can look for is different. You can use CVD divergences, market structure changes, hitting certain fib levels, passing order blocks, volume. So in this case, locally, what is interesting is at least flipping some resistance back into support, keeping an eye on the 3-minute volume and CVD, ending a 1-hour candle above the white line, right? Yeah, those are like step-by-step areas of interest, and it's always, you always have an invalidation, right? So this is the target area for your wave B. So if trading a wave C up, then naturally area of interest, stop loss, wave C target. Now I'm a bit more, I suppose, specific in when I want to enter and not, but yeah. Andy rocks. Thanks for the 20, I don't know the currency, but cheers, man. Your first super on a live stream. Yo, the first, that's an honor. That's an honor. Sold his bike, by the way, this guy. And gifting the 20. Cheers, Andy. Appreciate it, man. That's my first ever super chat. It is. YouTube lets us know. Yo, that's crazy, eh? Thanks, man. That's very kind. So Andy sold like, he has a great motorbike on the picture. Sold his motorbike to potentially have a look at Bitcoin in the future. But putting a 20 in chat here. Thanks, man. Hello from South Africa, Urban Development Group. I'm married to a South African, Cape Town girl. I'm in South Africa quite a lot, actually, because of her family as well. Could you please show 1 second? What do we have here? because we had some stuff. Oh yeah, we spoke about it. On the macro, oh, we did macro and a little while ago though. So I'm also gonna end the stream. So this is gonna, because I have some other stuff to do as well. I said 4 p.m., but it's already 4:44. But yeah, so your most bullish scenario, lowest probabilities at the moment because of how deep this price action is, and almost hit the 886, I think, as well. It's just not the highest probability. So therefore, your bull bear scenario is a bigger sideways corrective structure, right? W is a regular flat. Then you get your X. It would be nice if you eventually move down for your X, but you want to see a zigzag A, B, C. It would be very interesting. And then have an internal A, maybe flat in B, then get your C down, find support at 56, 57, move up for X, take the highs, finish a flat X after the 382, 2nd of May, then move down in Y. X can potentially already be finished, but it's very short in time. Didn't finish after the 382 fib time of wave W. And the most bearish scenario is a 1 2 1 2 1 2 and a massive wave 3 to the downside. This wave 2 might not yet be finished, right? That's the potential local flat, ABC, and a move down. And then you're going to be looking for much lower prices in this case. So so the other ones are more horizontal in nature. This one is carnage. Yeah. So that, yeah, those are the structures to look out for, I suppose. Okay. You are in South Africa. Oh, it's a pleasure, man. Yeah, it's a pleasure. Yeah, I mean, I always go to Cape Town because of her family living in Cape Town. But usually when we are there, we're there for like a couple of weeks, if not a month. So yeah, happy to meet. Got enough time. So let's see what price is going to give us, right? Definitely a scenario of interest is a potential flat. Keep in mind that as price moves up, there is the potential for 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5 here, meaning this. So as price moves up, if we do look for a flat and we look for a C up, we want to see a straight line to the upside. If we start to go corrective here, we look for downside. That's pretty much the conclusion. As price is finding a little bit of strength, moving above the point of control here now as well. And yeah, we might actually see a little bit of an increase. Let's see what price wants to do. You know what I'm looking for. So yeah, that being said, everyone, thanks for hanging out. And yeah, I appreciate you spending a couple of minutes, hours for some, maybe here on the channel today. I'm going to continue with some other stuff that I have to do, which is YouTube related. So yeah, I love working on everything with regards to the channel, and see if price can continue some of its local strength that it is showing. So yeah, thanks for hanging out. Tomorrow, of course, another live stream. Let me actually quickly check in my agenda. I'm actually not sure because tomorrow is the birthday of my wifey. So, of course, I want to spend time with my wife tomorrow because it's her birthday, you know what I mean? So I'm not sure if I go into a live stream. If so, it's going to be very short. But I'm going to update you about what's gonna happen. So yo, nice. So yeah. We'll see tomorrow. I will keep you up to date through the YouTube community post and in Discord, because yeah, it's a birthday. You know how it goes. So that being said, let's see if we get some nice price action the remainder of the day, and I'm gonna catch you in the next live stream. And tonight will be a normal update as well. So it's a normal video, and let's see where price is.